Okay, well, we've got a few things going on around the fortress right now. We did have a whole batch of migrants arrive. It wasn't too many, only like 8 of them, I think. They're all named and they're integrating into the fortress, so we're up to 111 now. It is first timber, and right now we have a mood going on. One of the dwarfs that arrived, I Stock for Cash 4. He's already decided that he wants to create an artifact now that he's here. And we've got Polar Beard right here, the awesome kick-ass dwarf with the named bow. In fact, let's take a closer look at the bow. The bow's name is Blind Dip, the death of striking. He's got 3 kills with it. It's a dog bone crossbow, and quite frankly, he's amazing. He's standing down here right now, just I guess filling this forgotten beast full of bolts. Let's see. He's shot it a decent number of times. The Forgotten Beast, yeah, just pages of it. 3 pages of bolts just striking into this beast, bruising the guts, bruising the hearts, chipping the legs. I'm surprised it's not dead yet. He'll probably run out of ammo before it dies. That one hit the front leg and fractured the bone. That one hit the tail and fractured the bone. That one hit the lower body and bruised the muscle. I think it finally decided it had enough, and he's had enough target practice, so he stands down and goes to refill his quiver. Maybe the beast will crawl off somewhere and die, and he can have another forgotten beast slapped onto his kill sheet there, his resume. We'll see. I've also kind of just made a huge stockpile here for refuse, for arms and body parts and stuff. I want the dwarves to clean all of this up. I don't think they ever will, though. There's too much stuff. All of these bodies here are just going to set and rot away. Every single illithid body has like 500 pieces of clothing, large cloth, large silk stuff. This place will probably never be cleaned up. Soon, I am going to start building buildings out here and additional roads, I think. It's just a matter of time. Once I've got more idlers up here, once they're done hauling all of this stuff that I've claimed, then I'll go ahead and get them busy doing that. I'm expanding some of the stockpiles. We're getting a secondary stockpile level underneath the trade depot built here. It's just going to mirror the floor above it, and it'll mostly house cloth, because that seems to be, you know, what drops out there. Maybe I just need more cloth bins and they'll go pick all that stuff up out there. There's Nami the third. I think it's the third. When the people lost their names, I kind of just forgot who was the third, who was the fourth. I might just actually drop that shtick altogether in future fortresses. I don't know if I want to keep up with it or even if I can keep up with it at this point. I guess I could always put the number in their title. That's an option too. I hadn't been doing that, but maybe I will in the future. Names are just all kind of screwed up right now. Dogs giving birth to puppies. Kittens are being struck down before they can claim anyone. Before they can claim any victims. We do have plenty of ferrets and nith children running around. Or some type of nith breeding grounds, breeding center. They almost outnumber the dwarves at this point, I think. We might have to keep our eye on them and start butchering them. There goes Lucane the Third, Page Savant. I think he might be a new migrant who arrived. And you know, while we're here, before I stop recording again, I want to see if Vaser, if he's managed to pick up any gear yet. I honestly don't think he has. Vaser might be done for. There might not be anything he can ever do again. The hero of Shove Copper, the soldier who gave so much for his fortress. I'm just going to have to remove him from the military squad, from the Boats of Kissing. It's been enough time and he hasn't gathered any more gear. So we'll give him some time off, and I guess just let him enjoy his retirement. Toady One can take his place. He can join the military. He's a skilled swords dwarf. He's spent some time training on the training dummies, so now it's up to him to go get yelled at by our drill instructors. Maybe he can learn a thing or two and take over for Vaser, if needed. I don't know what we're going to do about Vaser. He can't really do any civilian jobs. He can't do any military jobs. He's not paralyzed and stuck to a bed, so he doesn't have, you know, the worst of the worst. He's just a walking mouth with legs at this point. We'll see what his future holds. It is 4th Timber 1084, and we'll come back at the next ambush or whenever iStock for Cash creates his artifact. Now, there should be a little bit of action coming up here. iStock for Cash, you created your artifact. It is called Eulalalum. Eulalalum. A Tower Cap Cup. Let's take a look at that. How much work did you put into it? It's called The Last Woods, in remembrance of the last trees ever chomped down. Holy shit. Valued at 144,000 dwarf bucks. This tells a story. This is a Tower Cap Cup. All crafts dwarf ships of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of tower cap, fungi wood, and jelly opal. This object menaces with spikes of gold and dog leather. On the item is an image of Nish Fortune Ivory, the treasure of Willing, the deity of trade and wealth, depicted as a male steel dwarf in yellow sparsetine. Nish is traveling. On the item is an image of dwarves in gold. The dwarfs are also traveling. The artwork relates to the foundation of shove copper by the paddle of urging of the trade of nuts in the early spring of 1076, so long ago. On the item is an image of Tells Darcy II, Humed Match, the humble luck of crowding, the Azurcam elf and spaniel bone. And on the item is an image of a bustling crowds in brown zircon. Tells Darcy, the humble luck of crowding. I actually didn't know that Tells Darcy II was an Azurcam elf. But okay. I guess that'll do. And the bustling crowds must be all of the migrants who have decided to move here over the years. So there we go. There's that newest artifact, a cup worthy of a king to drink out of. But besides that little thing that was just created for us, we've got more clouds here, more toxic clouds. So I'm just going to go ahead and send the present axes and the arches of shooting over there to dive headfirst into it. We'll unpause it and see how this combat unfolds. The last little bit of combat was actually Three Toe, one of our archers. Get out of here, you stupid menus. I don't need you. Was one of our archers firing a whole bunch of bolts into a thief that tried to run through here. So they've sprung the ambush, and let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 of them there, and one's an orc. The fight is on. The flying schist bolt strikes the outpost mind wrestler in the body. It bruises the muscle. More bolts rake through them. Who is up there in the melee position? Peyton the Third, Glacial Wills, is up there, hacking and rolling around in the sand. The outpost mind wrestler is caught in the burst of toxin. The marble bolt strikes the mind flayer wrestler in the lower body, bruising the left kidney. Also strikes him in the upper arm, breaking his arm. The orc wrestler is caught in the cloud of extract. More people are caught in the cloud of extract. They're mostly punished themselves with that extract, and they're already running away. You know what? Let's give a chase command. Chase them down, kill them all, don't let them get away. That group has a lot of archers in it. Flying copper bolt strikes the Grigori mind flayer in the right facial tentacle, fracturing the muscle. Rhyolite bolt strikes him in the force field, but the attack glances off. Get out of here and don't come back, you bastard mind flayers. Does everyone in that group have crossbows? Does no one have a melee weapon? And the outpost liaison from Zan Zestum has arrived. Or the outpost liaison named Zan Zestin from Nish Ishlam. So the mountain homes arrived. We can start trading with them. Let's quickly get a whole bunch of stuff marked here. Anyone may trade. I actually want the broker to trade. We're going to continue to work on Alianira's broker skills. Let's see. Goods to trade. How about large? I'm just gonna go through this really quick. I'm gonna load up pages of this stuff. I don't care if I miss some of it there. There's just so much of this large cloth laying around. Large morganite crystal. I don't want to sell any of my large gems. I will soon also be using the Altar of War. I know some of you are extremely excited for me to start pissing away weapons and putting them up for offer. That'll be coming soon. Pages of it. Silk tunics, silk socks, silk speedos, thongs, bras, panties, cloaks, hoods, gloveses, capses, shoeses. That should be enough. That's a year's worth of carrying for most of these dwarves. Hurry up and finish the poor bastard off. Don't just torture him. They pin him to the ground with bolt after bolt. One through his hand, one through his wrist, one through his foot. Don't waste the copper bolts on him. Get up there and just smash him. You know what? I guess that's fine. It's good practice for him. Even though that's gonna be a bit of a problem if... Yeah, I need some melee people in there with swords and axes. It's taken them about 30, probably more than that, 30 bolts to kill him. Somebody finally runs up. It's Zartine the Fourth Town Scribes. He's like, enough of this. He walks up point blank. Another ambush? Where did that ambush spring forth at? I don't see anyone on the screen here. There it is. The ambush happened over here. So, FG, we're going to give more kill commands. Make sure I don't accidentally get the orcs in there. Can I? Yes, I can. Got the hammer dwarf marked in there. Let's not do that. It's all of these illithids right here. So good. I can just mark them. Also, let's scramble more people. The Boats of Kissing and the Walls of Order. Give them a kill command, even though I don't know if they'll make it up there in time before that group scatters, because those orcs, they do have caravan guards. Toady 1 has become a swords dwarf, and let's see, more merchants arrive. The orcish caravan from Guanchan Chui arrives from the north. Yeah, straight north. Come on, caravan guards. Put up a fight or something. Sorol Bomrek enters a martial trance. Are they paralyzed or something? The Mind Flayer Fresh Warper smashes the donkey in the lower body with the mace, bruising the muscle and the pancreas. Oh, I think they're going to scatter and completely rout those merchants there. Maybe not. Actually, looks like those dwarfs are getting the upper hand. Onal Martyr Gaze is there. He's not hurt. The Hammer Dwarf Latast Slingplate might need to take a visit to our hospital by the time that this fight is over with. You archers are just completely fucking worthless. You just stand around and do nothing. Just shoot your bolts into the ground. Go up there and use your bow or something. Oh god, are they gonna fight him? There's Jello Snark. They're still trying to kill this one. Kill him. Holy crap, he's not that amazing. Outpost Mind Wrestler. Unconscious, tired, and so far they're just unable to finish him off. Are they all gonna die from the poison toxic extract that keeps being thrown their way? And another Snatcher. A Snatcher has appeared right here, right behind Attila. The Mind Flayer Flesh Warper Master Thief. Jello Snark strikes the outpost Mind Wrestler in the lower body with the Cobalt Shield. Peton bashes the outpost Mind Wrestler in the body with the Dogbone Crossbow. Chase them down. Give chase. Don't let them send word back to their hometown, their Illithid, whatever they live in. Illithid caves? Illithid, do they have cities? I'm sure they do. And finally they kill that leader. Holy crap. Those guys were tough. And the merchants from Nish Ishlam, looks like they are cowards. Nutless cowards. Go back to the mountain homes. You don't belong out here anyways. Go back to your civilized big old city where it's safe. Who is that? There's Edgar Figueroa chasing the Flesh Warper Thief. He's chopped off his arm almost. It's just dangling. Now it's chopped off. There it is, laying in the sand. And somebody runs up there. Axion, who is starving and dehydrated. Well, go get something to eat if you're starving. FG, BC, everybody move over here. Just move to the entrance. I don't think there's any more illithids out there we need to chase down. We'll claim these two poor dead dwarves and all of their gear. Rest in peace, you brave, brave caravan guards, Marul and Cyril. They gave their life to defend the caravan, and then the caravan just said, fuck it, we're gonna turn around and go back. It's too dangerous to go the last 10%, the last 1% of the way. We need to turn around and go back. Edgar Figueroa stabbed the Mind Flayer wrestler in the face. The severed part sails off and splatters into the ground. There's Revoric Kane, skilled grower. They're all out there grabbing parts, I guess. Armor and stuff that was dropped. Just make sure to get them buried before the ghosts show up and start haunting us all. So maybe the ambushes are coming back. Might not be too much longer before we get sieged again as well. Hey look, these merchants are gonna make it. An ambush, skulking vermin, where at? I don't see anyone there. I don't see anyone there. Is it down here or something? Let's unpause it, I guess. Over here, a kobold ambush, huh? Was it just one little dinky kobold? Fine. BC, give you the kill command. Yeah, just Dlinkus, the kobold bowman, who maybe thought he was going to set out from his dwarven home, or his kobold home, and make a name for himself. He fires a bolt at our poor little Nith. Run, Nith, run! Don't get caught and killed by a nasty kobold. In my mind, a Nith are like the more civilized, well-mannered version of a kobold. Okay, so our troops are starting to finally make it over to him. The kobold fires a bolt at that dwarf. Whoever it is, it's about ready to come down over the edge. There he is. We've got Toady 1 there, who took Vaser's place in the squad, and Peter the 4th, who is unhappy. He's unhappy about being on the surface, and he catches a black steel arrow right in the right testicle. It bruises it through his copper chain leggings. Thankfully it doesn't embed itself. He'll be fine. He catches another black steel arrow. It lodges firmly in the wound. It strikes him in the head, tearing through the muscle and chipping the spine's bone. Get that fucking kobold! Toady 1 comes from the side and slams into the beast. Let's see. He charges at the kobold bowman with a ferocious might. Toady 1 stabs the kobold bowman in the right upper arm, bringing his sword through the kobold like a hot knife through butter, I guess. They collide and tumble backwards, and he slashes him in the upper arm. The severed part sails off. It just drops to the ground. He then stabs it in the right arm with the cobalt short sword, chopping that arm off too. Both of the arms are gone. And then he drives his sword through its throat, right down to its navel, and the beast is split and is no more. Well, I hope you're going to be fine, Peter. It's not, every day that people catch a bolt in the face, right through the spine, and live to tell about it. At least your testicles are safe. That didn't get ripped off. Another ambush. The ambushers are here. Where at? Wait, was it another ambush? Maybe not. I actually don't think it was. Okay, that was just an old update. Is my guess. Oh, fall back, fall back. Regroup on the road. We don't want anyone to be ambushed out here all alone. Go take your turn spitting on the kobold. You dirty, stinky creature. He was brave, though. It's not often you see a foe arrive with just a number of 1. Quite proud of that kobold. He put up a fight. He didn't turn tail and run away. And a thief somewhere, where is it? Betrayed by the cats, he says. Well, if our archers see him, they'll fight him. The kobold master thief counter-strikes. He's in here somewhere. Yeah, no telling. I can't see. Kobold Master Thief stabs Edgar Figueroa in the left hand, tearing the muscle through the silk mitten. He drops his short sword. Okay, now I need to know. Where is this fight going on at? Oh, why don't you center in the center of the screen, or even close to it? It's possible the fight's going on off the screen, but then which direction? To the north, to the east, to the west, to the southeast, to the northeast? God damn it. There it is, right here. Okay. So let's see, we've got Jello Snark there, Toady 1 is there, there's the Kobold Master Thief, there's Master Oz, or maybe this is another person. Wait, no, Edgar was on top of him. Jello Snark loses hold of the Kobold Shield. While that Master Thief is fucking everyone up. The Master Thief collides and is knocked over backwards. Jello Snark, in a fit of rage, bites the Kobold Master Thief in the left leg, tearing the fat and bruising the bone. He growls and shakes it. Somebody fires a bolt from over the edge. Jello Snark kicks the Kobold Master Thief in the head with the right foot, bruising the muscle and bruising the skull. He's in a fit of rage now. Toady 1 approaches and stabs the Kobold Master Thief in the head with the Cobalt Short Sword. It shatters the skull and tearing apart the brain. And Toady is turning into a violent badass. Zephron Everwire, he's killed Dlinkus and Kurorin. He's a Kobold hater. And I like that. Okay, everyone. B, C, F, G. Everyone station yourselves back here again. I don't want anyone else being ambushed alone by a Master Thief and having your hand chopped off. Let's see, Edgar, your left hand's all screwed up. Jello Snark, you've got multiple wounds all over your body. Kobold did a number on you, but your armor held up, and it wasn't able to get a fatal blow. Hopefully it didn't maim you too bad. We don't need any more Vasers wandering around with that lost, vacant look in their eyes. I still don't know what's going to happen to him. I think the Vaser's just going to be stuck to roam the halls for the rest of his days, unable to actually do anything. He can't work. He doesn't have any hands. As far as I know, there's no jobs that require a biting grip or, a teeth. You can't pedal away at a workshop with your feet and make a door or a bin. Everything requires the use of your hands. Oh. Brave civilians out there gathering the freshest socks for everyone. Fresh clothing for all, since we don't actually make any clothing here. It's too much effort for our dwarfs. Well, it is 21st September 1084. I'm going to allow the dwarves to continue carrying everything down to the merchants, and before they get ready to leave, or whenever the next ambush happens, we'll come back, continue picking up the recording from there. Oh, there's the thief. Oh well, thieves aren't important. He'll run away, as long as he didn't actually ambush anyone. Forgotten Beasts are as good a time as any to do a status update, I guess, and we've been attacked by one. The Forgotten Beast Horna Hatalu has arrived, a huge three-eyed chickadee. It has 3 stubby tails and it undulates rhythmically. Its black feathers are downy. Beware of its poisonous bite. And, there it is, down here in the south part of the map. Let's see, Horna Tombone. It's got, yeah, it can fly, so I have no doubt we'll be fighting it soon. It is on the, let's see, that is the zoo level. So it might take some time to work its way all the way up here, up to this Z level. I imagine it'll probably land over here or something like that. And Z-Sword, our mayor, is meeting with an outpost liaison. I requested a few things from them. Let's see, what did I request? Bolts, so I can stop pumping them out so much. We'll trade all the silk clothing we've got for it, and as much drink as they can bring. We've got plenty, but variety never hurts. It is 1st Opal 1084 Midwinter. It's been quiet for quite some time. We haven't had any ambushers. We didn't get sieged by anybody. The military's been taking turns and shifts, watching over the civilians outside. There's been a long trail and stream of dwarfs running over here to pick up supplies that I assume the caravan dropped whenever they got slaughtered. I did trade with the merchants, the orc merchants from Guanchan Chui. Didn't really get anything from them. I ended up just giving them everything, more or less. I got a few bars from them and a couple drinks, and that was really it. They didn't bring any armor or anything valuable. So they made off like bandits. Maybe they'll bring something better next year. I also had our legendary engravers engrave all of these pillars here. And, you know, they didn't engrave anything too awesome. You can pause it on some of these if you want. They did an engraving of the god Godam here, the deity of nightmares, depicted as a stone dwarfette. Godam looks dejected. For some reason, no one likes the god of nightmares. They're just unappreciated. This one's called the Tentacle of Pointing. It's a superiorly designed image of Mean Melter III, Weaverlands to the Ice Dwarfette and Dwarfs by Zuntir Fathamek. The dwarfs are refusing Mean Melter. Mean Melter is making a plaintive gesture. The artwork relates to the removal of the Ice Dwarfette Mean Melter from the position of Captain of the Guard. And there are a whole lot of these engravings of people being removed from the position of Captain of the Guard. The Calamities of Charity. Let's see, an exceptionally designed image of Golden Silks. The Slayer of Yelling. We've got plenty of engravings of various races and civilizations going on treks to go tame animals. Here's one of, let's see, the Lesser Frill. It's a kobold being struck down by a werewolf in 1081 during the 5th theft. He was trying to steal something during a siege, and he paid a dear price, his life. A superiorly designed image of a Minotaur by Bimstrokes. Bim is one of our primary engravers. That is Passaquoi. By the way, I still haven't learned the other name of our other engravers, who they are. They don't always sign with their nickname, unfortunately. They use their birth dwarven name, which makes it kind of hard for me to figure out who it is. There's that one. Let's see. Here's one from 543, the Keeper Shund Oil Scar. He was taming camels or something like that. There's another one about the militia captain being replaced. Local dwarven government symbol. Let's see. A well-designed image of an anvil. The image is the symbol of the paddles of urging. There we go. And over here, what do we got? A well-designed image of you, the symbol of the trade of nuts. Let's see, this one relates to the killing of the kobold Langus by the Mind Flayer Death Monsters in 1082. Probably another crazy kobold trying to steal something. The Seventh Journey of the Keeper Washed Mushrooms in 506. He is the one who walked out to the desert and tamed camels while eating mushrooms. Washing them down. That's how he got his last name. This is, let's see, relates to the removal of the obsidian dwarf Etir Girder Throne from the position of militia commander in 1076, the year we arrived. Shund Oil Scar, there we go, 543. Image of the Last Woods, the Tower Cap Cup that was just made. It's been forever memorialized on our pillar there. The Razor Dispersal of Whiskey. So apparently, maybe people have been drinking dwarven whiskey out of that Tower Cap Cup. Maybe Passaquoi engraved this, and he's been using that cup secretly to take drinks out of, and he wanted to leave a little memento on the wall there. The Factional Tournament. Let's see, that was about Jello Snark III being removed from the position of the Captain of the Guard. That seems to be a very important memory to the dwarves. People being demoted, they love that. The Sadness of Hags, a superiorly designed image of an ancient library that houses unknown and untold memories of ancient civilizations gone by. The Smoke of Permanency, a superiorly designed image of Z-Sword. Cradle City, the Growl of Requiring, the Obsidian Dwarfette and Dwarfs by Zuntir Fathamek. Z-Sword is surrounded by the dwarfs. The artwork relates to the election of the Obsidian Dwarfette Z-Sword to the position of mayor in 1081. Please, Z-Sword, quit killing us. We'll elect you mayor if you just promise not to slice any more of us in half. This one relates to apparently a fancy amulet being made, the Natural Chunk. Yep, that's it. Nothing too fancy there. I'll engrave these walls next year or something like that, these pillars, and we'll scout through them. I'm pretty sure besides those engravings in the Forgotten Beast, there isn't a whole lot going on. I did finally set up this bedroom, though. I gave this bedroom to Vaser, our war hero. I just feel bad for that dwarf. He did so much for the fortress, and now now there's nothing he can do. I might actually make him the mayor. Z-Sword may be demoted to captain of the guard and continually sent back into battle. Maybe to redeem his past atrocities against the dwarven kind. And we'll let Vaser, who's sacrificed so much for the dwarfs here, maybe he can be the leader of of Shovecopper here. I still haven't decided if I really want to do that yet. I might though. It just depends. We'll give it some more time. You know what? Let's see. I'll use the Altar of War here. We'll sacrifice a weapon. I haven't actually done that yet, and while we're waiting for that forgotten beast to cause some chaos, we might as well. I don't think it. I actually don't know what this does. I believe, if I was reading correctly, they take the dwarves, grab a weapon, and they use the weapon in a reaction at the Altar of War there. And you get maybe a better weapon in return? I'm still not entirely sure. I didn't read too much of the thread or the wiki because I don't want to spoil any of this for me, even though I mean, it's a great way to learn. I'd kind of like to learn just by screwing around and trying to figure it out on my own. Even if I don't even come close to guessing correctly, it makes me feel warm and good on the inside. Let's see. Here we go. McHelmet. There's me. Dion's little baby. And Passequo, you've adopted a stray ferret. So let's see. I bring the weapon to the altar there. Sacrifice weapon. I can't see what I had. Apparently it's already been devoured in the reaction. Did we get anything from it? Did it do anything? I'm not exactly sure how I would even find out. You may have to yell at me in the comments and let me know if there's a way to find out exactly what we get out of this reaction. If there's a way to find it out. He's sitting there coating the blade in blood. Blood from werewolves that we've got. Dropping a little bit of magma on it from an obsidian ladle that we scoop out of a cauldron. The blood begins to boil, the sword begins to melt, and who knows if we got anything. I'm not carrying anything, so I doubt it, and I'm a dabbling alchemist. So, you know what? I'm gonna sacrifice a bunch of weapons here. What's the worst that could happen? They sacrifice a few training blades, maybe a few obsidian short swords, a couple copper short swords. Possible they could burn up the red steel swords and stuff. Bagwham's going out there to chop down a couple trees, I guess. Keep the mushroom forest from overgrowing the caverns and blocking us off. And probably the best crafts dwarf that we've got, the Eye, continues to pump out masterpiece after masterpiece after masterpiece. It's phenomenal. McHelmet again. I grab another weapon. What are you sacrificing this time? A sun gold sickle sword. Great. I think I bought that not too long ago. I didn't really want to use it anyways. It's one of them dirty dwarf or elf weapons. At least it's not a spellwood. Well, I guess... No, if it was a spellwood weapon, hell, sacrifice all of those first. And our mayor meets with the outpost liaison again. Well then, we finalized the export documents. This is what we want from you next year. We want the crossbows, and we want the warhammers. And we want the earrings, please, the pearl ones. We love those ones. Legwear, of course. They want footwear, blocks, amulets. And they want prepared meals. I don't care. At this point, on this version of Dwarf Fortress, trading doesn't really matter very much. It is being addressed, I believe. There's going to be a better... better is not really the correct word, but more in-depth reason for it. Supply and demand, stuff like that in the future versions. Z-Sword, I look forward to our meeting next year. Our fortunes rise and fall together. Yes, they do. Here comes another munchkin. Box Zor. He's crafting rock-tip bolts. He's going over here to the lumber field, as we call it, where all of the logs and mushrooms lay there to dry and to harden. Oh well. let's see where this forgotten beast is. I don't even remember his name now. We got so many of them on that level. Let's see, down, wild animals, uninvited guests. I think it was Horna. Apparently we've got a couple Crundles and Dralta running around, but they're not important. So there he is, the big C, the big old capital C. Still a pretty good distance from us. It might take him a while to get over here. So it is 7th Opal 1084 Midwinter. The dwarfs are still stacking bodies and body parts and all that other stuff over here. Got most of the clothing gathered from out here. I'm continuing to I'm gonna set up this stockpile soon. This whole level will be smoothed down and engraved and be a mirror image of this level before too much longer. Still carving away the sand here. We don't have too many Z levels left before we hit the ground. Something like 5 Z levels left. We are so close. So close to getting that sand removed. And then we can then I can start figuring out exactly how we want to shape the rock pillar that's still left jutting out of the ground. Once all the sand's gone, I'm also going to do another 3D view. I'll use Overseer, Ogreseer once more. We can get a better visual of exactly what's going on. So I'll come back whenever the fight starts, or whenever we get ambushed out there. Robbergi, you're training there. Alianira is working on her dodging. And Sir Drake III is busy swimming. He's doing the backstroke. And we'll be back. Okay, well, enough of the little piddly ambushes and the dinky little thieves and all of the little invaders that have shown up so far. It's that time of year again, and we are under siege. A vile force of darkness has arrived. And, let's see, we've got one werewolf squad to the south. Looks like they followed the road in. Another one all the way over to the east. One to the north. There's 3 squads. So once again, all they've been able to muster are 3 squads of probably highly trained, deadly, efficient killing machines. We're going to scramble pretty much all the squads as well. E, F, G, everyone except the 10-man reserve squads. We'll send them up here and station them outside. And it is 15th Obsidian, 1084. We should be able to handle these werewolves without too much loss. Somebody fires a flying bolt. It strikes the werewolf in the head, tearing through the fat. Headshotted. So yeah, I mean, we haven't really lost too many dwarves in the previous sieges so far. Just maybe, I think, actually 6 or 7 to battle. All of the others that we've lost have been straight to depression and stuff like that. Unable to handle the traumatic images that they saw. They broke. It's a serious thing. And we will forever mourn those who passed on. But let's see. We've got new heroes trying to emerge right now. The werewolves don't know exactly what they're doing. They're just all kind of dancing around, kicking up dust as they stomp and trough around in the dry sand. A couple of them are injured. They're just soaking up bolts for each other. Who's firing those? It is this dwarf right here, I believe. Shatari. Well, no, you're firing. You haven't got any kills yet. Somebody has. Maybe. There is a dead body there, but with so many dead bodies out there, there's no telling. Yeah, I guess I could look here. Shatari, let's see. Yeah, so you are getting all of the shots. So far, I sometimes forget about this combat screen here by pressing the R key. Well, the werewolves have decided they don't want to fight us yet. And they're charging maybe over here to attack these camels? No. They're seeking refuge in the camels? Please, camels, save us. Save us from the merciless dwarves. We just came here to parley with them and trade, and they stuff us full of arrows. These werewolves know what they want, though. The scent of dwarf has been blowing in the breeze, straight towards them. Where's that werewolf going? This werewolf is just running out of here. He's not injured at all. Wait, is he chasing that poor little Nith? Run, Nith, run! They're trying to do a pincher attack on our poor little Nith baby out there. The stray Nith, tame. Hasn't claimed an owner yet. Looks like most of the dwarfs have arrived. This is going to be a violent and bloody bloodbath, violent blood massacre, blood murder. Let's see. The white maned werewolf bites the stray nith in the right upper arm and it bleeds to death. You bastards! The werewolf shakes the nith around and a body part sails through the air, leaving a long trail of nith blood. Those heartless fiends. What are they chasing now? The archers unload a volley of arrows towards them. Let's see. Flying marble bolt strikes the werewolf wrestler in the upper body, bruising the lung, bruises the bone. Alchemia is there fighting. Lord Blackthorn's unloading a volley. And the dwarfs are charging ahead. Okay, so the werewolves actually are attacking on both sides right now. I'm not going to give any kill commands, by the way. I've got the dwarfs stationed here. They'll kill and do what they see fit. Hopefully they'll charge into battle and not be ridiculous. So let's see. Over here we have Hippo Man leading the charge, it looks like. Followed by Billy the Kid, Rob Staley, Vabak the Dog, Thom York, Toady Ones charging forward. There's Master Ozra, Ronald McDonald. And on this side is Polar Beard, Nami the Third, Jello Snark, Ernest McJ-Snark is doppelganger, 24 volunteers, Calrog Man, Ernest McUnicorn, and Pylops. I'm just going to unpause it and let them get to battle. Looks like we've already got one dwarf right over there in the middle of it. Who is that? Swiss Army. You are getting torn to ribbons. They've got your hand in a bite right now and are shaking it around. Hippo Man strikes the gray werewolf wrestler in the head with the cobalt shield. The beast snaps backwards. Rob Staley bashes the gray werewolf wrestler in the head with the donkey bone crossbow, tearing apart a piece of the skin. The beast turns around and howls in rage at him. Somebody died. Oh no, Vabak, that spaniel, that war spaniel that we saw over here. He's been shaken to death. Ernst McUnicorn bashes the gray werewolf wrestler in the right upper arm with the bronze warhammer. The arm is mangled. ED-209 stabs with his cobalt short sword in the lower arm, fracturing the bone. And Nami stands up, rolls between the werewolf's leg, and strikes one in the back, piercing through the kidney. Inad the ferret's been struck down and bled to death. More of our pets charge forward to give their lives. Looks like these dwarfs over here might... somebody's injured. Let's see, Ernst McUnicorn, your whole body is mangled. You've been mangled for quite some time now. I don't know how many of those injuries are new and old. Swiss Army, your right ankle is snapped at a weird angle. Your right hand is mangled. You've got bite marks all over your body. Okay, A, B, and C. Well, no, I don't want to give any kill commands. That's right. I want to try this. I'm trying out this station position. I need to know if this will work. Nami strikes the gray werewolf wrestler in the lower body with the bismuth bronze sword, tearing apart the skin and bruising the lower spine's bone. Not enough to paralyze the beast, though. Let the dwarfs get into a bigger massacre melee with him. The werewolves howl and are scattered. Somebody bashed a werewolf down over here. Polar Beard, you bashed a werewolf wrestler in the head, bruising the brain, crushing the skull, struck the beast down. Calrog Man strikes the gray werewolf wrestler in the right hand, tearing through the skin and bruising the bone. And Sergeant Shima strikes the white mane wrestler in the head with the copper shield. It tears through the skin. Get to it, dwarfs. Someone's bringing their baby into battle, possibly to give the baby a taste of werewolf blood. Oh no, in Alchemia you've bled to death from many wounds. It wasn't one that they just, it's not like they just ripped your arm off or anything here. You've been putting up one hell of a fight the entire time. And you finally just gave in. You no more blood to give to the sand. Ernst McJ-Snark slashes the gray werewolf wrestler in the left lower arm with the black steel short sword, cutting through the werewolf like a dwarf on a bender. Ronald McDonald punches the gray werewolf wrestler in the right hand from behind, tearing through the skin and bruising the bone. Avenge those dwarfs, boys! Peyton the Third, you bleed to death, finally shook around by a werewolf and torn in two. Sergeant Shima strikes the white mane wrestler in the tail. The beast howls and turns around and claws at him. He rolls to the side. Billy the Kid slashes the gray werewolf wrestler in the upper body with the copper short sword. It tears apart the muscle, bruises the lung. The beast begins hacking and wheezing. So let's see, we've got a couple dwarfs over here beating up that werewolf. Nami, Ernst, McUnicorn, and Polar Beard, you're all fighting that one. We've got Jello Snark here, soloing this werewolf that's nauseous. He's thirsty. He needs a drink. Pylops your pal. The werewolf has you in a vice grip. It's shaking you around by the womb and the lower body. Your right hip is crushed. It's feasting on you. Calrog man, you're doing fine. Maybe a little bit of a right hand injury. Edgar Figueroa, you're hungry, dehydrated. Drink the blood. Ernest McJ-Snark, you guys are completely dominating that werewolf right there. And a bunch of werewolves here are about ready to sneak in through the back door. They're killing Obak Shadyhames there, the war dog. We've got a lot of injuries. Peter the Fourth, you've got an upper spine injury. This werewolf is nauseous, shaking you around. I think it's imperative that I do give a kill order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all of them, and the complex inks, and the slick earths. This is a Dwarf Con 5, or whatever the highest alert is. I need everyone out here and kill all of those werewolves. Anyone who's standing around is doing it wrong. What do we got? Biggs becomes a swords dwarf. Apparently the seasons have changed. It's late winter. Deep cold sets in the middle of the battle. It's been many days as they fought bravely and valiantly outside. Wow, that was a lot of battle. Grey Werewolf Wrestler gouges Salty Nut's lower lip with its right hand. He shreds the lip. It dangles from his Salty Nut's mouth. Hippo Man strikes the Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the right upper leg from the side. It tears through the skin and bruises the bone. Tilla bashes a Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the left upper leg. The beast buckles and falls to the ground. Nami brings the bronze warhammer down on the beast's head and splatters it all across the sand. And let's see, Hippo Man strikes the Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the left lower arm. Looks like these werewolves are pretty much all done for. There's still a batch here. Do we have anyone make it across inside? No. But fresh reserves are pouring in from the central stairwell there. Let's see, the first one to show up looks like it's going to be Bagwam. Followed by Lockman. There's Lord Blackthorn, maybe running, or Lord Blacklock, excuse me. So many lords here. Well, there's going to have to be a Lord squad at some point, I think, for that whole family, like the old Doyle family, if they survive long enough. Mox McCloud's there, Infidel, you're there, charging forward, I think. We'll see. Oh no, and one of our legendary heroes. Lord Blackthorn finally gets struck down in battle. Let's see. The White Mane Werewolf shakes Lord Blackthorn around by the upper arm. It shatters the left lower arm's bone. An artery in the left lower arm has been opened up. Many nerves have been severed. Lord Blackthorn reels backward, blood squirting from his stump. He falls down and doesn't move again, so that's how he's died. Ernest McJ-Snark slashes the Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the right paw from behind, striking the paw off. It sails to the ground. That black steel short sword that you've got has claimed many a life. Until of the fifth, you've bled to death. Doesn't look like there's one attack that just did it to you. Oh yeah, it was. Wait. The Grey Werewolf Wrestler shakes Tilla around by the left foot, shattering it, tearing open an artery. The dwarf slides backwards on the dwarf's back across the sand, striking into a rock, bashing its head open. You lay there until you bleed out during the battle. Wow, and somebody just threw a huge fireball. Ronald McDonald's bled to death. I shouldn't have opened my mouth about not having many casualties, because now a whole bunch of people are going to die. Edgar Figueroa, you've bled to death. Bagwam's no longer stunned. Edgar Figueroa, let's see. Looks like you were just shook around maybe. Ernest McJ-Snark stabs the Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the left lower leg. It fractures the bone, paralyzes the beast. It falls over onto the ground. Looks like we got some dwarfs one werewolf trying to charge across the bridge right now. He's pinned Bagwam against the pillar and is violently shaking him around. Box McCloud the Fourth is there. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He's kind of scared, looks like, to draw his sword and charge the beast. However, Napoleon the Fourth Roast Chamber, he knows what battle is. There he goes. One of them finally charges out over there. Lord Blacklock, are you actually going into battle? No, you can't be because you're a baby. It's Lockman leading the way. Box McCloud finally charges the beast from behind and stabs it through its back spine, piercing the metal spine's tissue. The beast still latches on though, and the dwarfs lift the werewolf over the edge and throw him into the volcano with one giant heave. The beast, paralyzed, just lashes around, unable to try and even kick to the surface. Not that it would matter, though. Okay, so now we've got a whole bunch of dwarfs injured outside. And here comes this werewolf parade right here. Swiss Army, you're just running away from the fight. Things are not looking good for anyone. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, E, I, E, J even. All of the squads. This is a full-scale emergency alert. Charge to the entrance. Everyone. This werewolf squad is completely rested, and they're just going to pick through our wounded right here and kill everyone. Let's see, Polarbeard bashes the gray werewolf wrestler in the head with the Neural Bakar Rashad, the named crossbow. It tears through the skull. And yeah, get more combat going on here. Oh man, come on dwarves, charge forward. Someone flicks a fireball, singeing this werewolf's wrestler's hair, completely obliterating his body, and dwarfs pile onto him and finally strike him down. God dang, that took a long time. Master Ozra strikes the white-maned werewolf wrestler in the head from behind with a red steel shield. A tendon in the skull's been torn, and Lockman stabs the white-maned werewolf wrestler in the head from behind, fracturing the skull, bruising the brain. The beast drops to the ground. There's no more. Okay, where are all of these? There's the werewolves. They're pouring in the front door. They've bypassed all of these dwarfs here. Let's see, a war dog struck down, shaken in two. Juju dog lands a blow on the werewolf wrestler, buckling his knee. Someone brings their sword in, slicing it across the throat and kicking it over to the ground. Master Ozra strikes the white-maned werewolf wrestler in the head from behind, dropping the beast. Got a bunch of people chasing this werewolf wrestler here, who is in turn chasing after Peter the Fourth, who is all tore up. His right lip is, or his lower lip is mangled. His upper spine is exposed from a bite mark on his back. Polar Beard's there. 24 Volunteers is there. Urst McUnicorn is still happily giving chase out there. Somebody lost a hand and dropped something. Let's see, Wedge slashes the gray werewolf wrestler in the right lower leg with the cobalt short sword. It tears apart the muscle, bruises the bone. Master Ozra strikes with the red steel shield. Apparently Master Ozra has just dropped his real weapon, and Billy the Kid bleeds to death. Dr. Spangler strikes the gray werewolf wrestler in the tooth with the copper shield, knocking the tooth out, driving the beast backwards. And Billy the Kid finally gives in from his numerous wounds. It wasn't one individual wound that did it. A, B, C, D, E, F. Actually, see, let's get another kill command going here. Kill all of them. Got a couple named werewolves in there as well. Come on, dwarfs, you're almost through this siege. Just a few more werewolves before they'll no doubt turn tail and run. Bunch of people over here surrounding this werewolf. Looks like Lockman is there with the baby shield, the Lord Blacklock. Master Ozra Sensed Tomb is there. Got a bite mark on his false right rib. Daedric Dwarf is charging to the side as well, stabbing the beast over and over repeatedly. Let's see, we've got Nami there, Calrog Man, and Napoleon there. They're pummeling this unconscious werewolf into the sand, continuing to make a bigger crater with every single blow they land on him. Come on, dwarfs, hold the entrance. Don't let any by. There's Bagwim. Thirsty. Right shoulder injury. Hopefully you don't have any nervous spinal injury. An ambush, skulking vermin. Where? Right there. A bunch of kobolds ambushed somebody. Oh. A bunch of kobolds are ambushing that werewolf right there. Oh no, and Sergeant Shima the Fourth, you've bled to death. Damn it. I don't have much luck. Napoleon at Waterloo slashes the gray werewolf wrestler in the head with the cobalt short sword, tearing apart the muscle and shattering the skull. And Sergeant Shima, you finally fought valiantly to the end. It wasn't one single attack at the end that shook you to death. You just finally could no longer lift your weapon and lend a hand. You did all you could. Calrog Man stabs the gray werewolf wrestler in the head with the copper short sword. It tears apart the muscle and tears apart the upper spine's nervous tissue. That werewolf wrestler drops. And Lum the Mad, in the middle of his mood, has finally gathered all of his valuable resources that he needs, and he begins his mysterious construction. Looks like we've got doctors and child laborers pouring in across the bridge. Thomas Kane babies charging across. Let's see. There's Maxime baby, hopefully going to recover the wounded. Juju dog is getting ready to go rest and recuperate from the wounds that he's incurred from this vicious battle. You can just see these people now, these dwarves, completely surrounding the werewolves, just boxing them in and stomping them into the ground. It takes so many dwarfs, though, to stomp these damn werewolves down. I mean, oh man. They're gonna stomp in some of these werewolves for multiple days, unable to finish the damn things. Come on, dwarves, you're milking it now. Let's try another kill command here. Pause it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Enough fooling around. We've got wounded we need to recover. There's only 3 werewolves on my screen there that I can target, so there we go. I finally strike this one down over here. These dwarfs charge forward, getting ready to add their weight to the pile. They strike that one down. Multiple fireballs sail through the air and land right on that werewolf, incinerating his corpse into a pile of ashes. And they finally struck this one down over here. The Grey Werewolf Wrestler attacks Blind Chaos. Where is that at? Oh no, we've got people up here being killed. Swiss Army, you're unconscious, overexerted, nauseous, winded. Yeah, you're dead. I'm sorry to say. You ran up there, got yourself separated, and the werewolf is just toying with you. The Grey Werewolf Wrestler strikes Blind Chaos. Well, now where are you fighting at? Over there. Damn it, no. ABC. Go kill this werewolf right here. And then, you know what? I guess D, E, and F. We'll give them a kill command. Maybe they can go save this dwarf over here. Well, there's multiple dwarfs over there. There it is, right there. Go save that dwarf, quick. Don't let him die. So now we've got all those kill commands passed out and given. I hope they go over there. God, I hope I assign that command. The Grey Werewolf Wrestler claws Blind Chaos in the upper body, bruising the muscle, shattering the false rib. I don't think they're going to make it over to you in time. I don't see anyone moving at all, actually. And note, Blind Chaos, you are struck down. Left and forsaken by the other dwarfs. They said they didn't want any part of it. So you know what? Screw it. No kill commands. GHI. Everyone who is outside needs to return right now. I'm going to give 2 station commands to A and B. Station them right here in the entrance. And other than that, everyone else, you're on your own. No more dwarfs are going to be sent out to be ambushed or tore apart. And unfortunately for you, Swiss Army, you're going to have to rest in peace. There's a thief here, huh? Right there. Oh no! A thief child napper. Tried to, well, popped up right next to Pansis, baby. Run, Pansis. Run. Ken Chan sees the thief and takes off after him. Leave the dwarf child alone, you fiend. Oh, recover as many wounded as you can, I guess. Kobold and Grey Werewolf Wrestler are fighting. Good lord, Werewolf. You know what? Fine. I'll give 1 kill command. Because you're putting up one hell of a fight over there, Swiss Army. I don't know how you're not dead. The werewolf's been clawing at you for a while. Kin-chan enters a martial trance. That's not good. Where are you at, Kin-chan? Right there, getting ambushed by the kobolds. Except you're doing all the killing. Group B, go save Kin-chan. There we go. There's only 3 kobolds there, a couple spearmen. You're rolling around. ED-209 strikes the Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the left upper leg, tearing through the skin. We don't care about ED-209. We want to hear about Kin-chan. Let's see. Kin-chan bashes the kobold spearman in the lower body with the cowbone crossbow. Oh, you're not even a melee dwarf. You're a crossbow dwarf, completely out of ammo. Bash him in the muscle, bruising the left kidney. You roll to the side and dodge another crossbow arrow. It sails overhead. You duck underneath that one, go between the kobold's legs. ED-209 strikes the Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the lower body. So ED-209 is fighting a Grey Werewolf Wrestler somewhere. I expect him to win. You got Swiss Army over there getting stomped down. ED-209 strikes the Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the left hand. The Kobold Spearman attacks Kin-chan, but she rolls to the side. The flying iron arrow strikes Kin-chan in the lower body from behind. It bruises the muscle and bruises the left kidney through the iron greave, so thank God for your armor. You've stunned and brutalated two of those kobolds there. You get struck by another bolt, it looks like. The flying iron arrow strikes Kinchan on the right lower leg from behind, embedding itself in his leg, chipping the bone through the iron greaves. You reach down and snap it off, and you begin to run after it. Well, are you going to run after that kobold? Where the hell are you going? Go to combat training? No, there's no training over there, Kinchan. Are you insane? Go kill that kobold or something. Jello Snark attacks, strikes the kobold spearman in the upper body with the kobold shield. So Jello Snark the Fourth, helmed shimmer, the bronze trumpet of something. There's got to be a way to see your title there. But you run and strike down those kobolds. You got the dwarf adrenaline pumping through your blood vein. You roll to the side from that crossbow bolt that's fired at you. And you just completely latch onto that kobold and tear him limb from limb. I don't even want to know how you're still alive, Swiss Army. Let's see, A and B. I'll give both of them a kill command. Maybe Jello Snark can go over there and save the day. Go, Jello, go over there and slice that werewolf wrestler down. He locks on with a Terminator vision from 100 yards away. The Grey Werewolf Wrestler strangles the clerk's throat, so he's over there strangling you, and you're ambushed. You would be ambushed on your journey. Jello Snark strikes the Kobold Bowman in the left head and bashed its brain in. That's how the last one died. Ignore those kobolds. You need to go knock that Werewolf Wrestler off that dwarf. He charges from the side and does something. He said he gave his best war cry and completely chased the kobolds away. Let's see, he just struck that kobold maceman in the right foot with the cobalt shield, breaking through the fat. The beast tumbles out of the screen. Where are you going? Kill Grey Werewolf Wrestler. He's right there. Go down. Lum the Mad has created Jeanette de Casse, a tower cap bracelet. In the middle of all this chaos, it's called Crew Colored. It's valued at 156,000 dwarf bucks. Goodness. This is a tower cap bracelet. All crafts dwarf ships of the highest quality. It is studded with gold and encircled with bands of tower cap, fungi wood, and gold. This object is adorned with hanging rings of fungi wood and forgotten beast bone, and menaces with spikes of savorite. On the item is an image of dwarfs enthralled the bone. The dwarfs are laboring. The artwork relates to the foundation of shove copper by the paddle of urging of the trade of nuts in the early spring of 1076. On the item is an image of a mahogany in gold, and on the item is an image of a wonderful purring maggot in cow leather. That's one hell of a bracelet. I don't know what we'll ever do with it. Maybe, like I said, maybe some noble will decide that that's a beautiful trinket and just absolutely have to wear it. So Jello Snark just ran back for about 20 yards. That way he could get a full sprint run, and he charges at the werewolf. He hits it at full speed on the left lower arm with the cobalt shield, tearing through the bone. Jello Snark strikes him again in the lower body with the cobalt shield. Apparently he doesn't have a weapon. The Grey Werewolf Wrestler is surprised and releases his grip on the clerk's throat. He rolls to the ground. Jello Snark scratches the Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the right hand, bruising the bone, tearing a ligament. This is all on you, Jello Snark. Charge the beast, kill it. Defend your friend's honor and his life. The Grey Werewolf Wrestler claws the clerk in the head, tearing through the muscle. The werewolf says he will not be denied this kill. Jello Snark in return bites the Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the first toe, right paw, tearing the fat and bruising the bone. He grimaces and shakes and pulls the Werewolf Wrestler off of his friend as he claws backwards. The Grey Werewolf Wrestler bites Jello Snark in the right foot and shakes, tearing apart the muscle and bruising the bone. An artery has been opened by the attack, a motor nerve has been severed, and a ligament's been torn. And there is no military help anywhere. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Get up there. This has gone on long enough. I was thinking more people would show up, but I think we're going to lose both of these dwarfs now. Let's see. Jello Snark's knocked over and tumbles backwards. The Grey Werewolf Wrestler strikes, but the shot is blocked with his shield. In one last moment of desperation, the Grey Werewolf Wrestler grabs Jello Snark by the thumb, left hand, and lifts him off the ground. Jello Snark strikes the Grey Werewolf Wrestler in the left hand, tearing apart the skin and bruising the bone. A ligament's been torn. It releases its grip, on Jellisnark's thumb and drops him to the ground. He rolls backwards. The gray werewolf wrestler grabs Jellisnark with his other hand and begins squeezing. They pummel back and forth for a while. Jellisnark strikes again in the right lower leg, tearing through the skin. And the gray werewolf wrestler is no longer enraged and misses his frenzied attack. Jellisnark strikes the gray werewolf wrestler in the right hand, numbing the hand. They backpedal for a moment and then go at each other again. The werewolf claws 4 times at Jellisnark, but the shot is blocked and he stumbles backwards, backpedaling. Claws again, missing, only getting a handful of sand. Jellisnark counter-strikes, attacks the gray werewolf wrestler in the right hand as the punch comes in. It numbs the beast's paw once more. Let's see, Jellisnark releases its grip. The werewolf releases its grip. Jellisnark kicks the gray werewolf wrestler in the foot, crushing down on it with his iron boot. He's just continuing to backpedal, not letting the beast get a good solid grip on him. Jellisnark strikes the gray werewolf wrestler in the mouth, stunning the beast. It falls to the ground. Looks like we've got backup finally arriving. Good lord, it's Master Ozra. He takes a look and assesses the situation, and as soon as he's charging forward, he's ambushed by a kobold. Damn, a kobold jumps into the fray. Jellisnark strikes the gray werewolf wrestler in the tail. 2 times ambush is what it says. I don't know where the rest are at. Jellisnark scrambles backwards, trying to regain his composure. The gray werewolf wrestler turns his attention to the kobold spearman and attacks, so it's actually 3-on-1. The gray werewolf wrestler claws the kobold in the right leg, breaking the bone. Let's see what Master Ozra's doing. He strikes the kobold spearman in the upper body. They're both driving the kobold spearman back. And Master Ozra strikes the gray werewolf wrestler in the right lower arm with the red steel shield. It tears through the skin. He's driving both of them back right now. He bashes the werewolf wrestler in the head. Somebody loses an arm. The gray werewolf wrestler onslaught tears the kobold's left upper arm off and throws it through the air. Master Ozra strikes the gray werewolf wrestler with the shield again and again, driving the beast back. No one apparently has a weapon. Maybe all of the weapons are stuck in the beasts or something. And Master Ozra strikes the gray werewolf wrestler in the right leg, tearing through the skin and bruising the bone. Okay, we're just going to let this fight play out until somebody dies. Jellisnark claws his way over to the beast and jumps on top, rolls off to the side. They both begin pummeling down the werewolf. Another person arrives on the scene. Let's see, who is that? It is Axion the Fourth. He doesn't have any bolts, though. And finally, they kill that werewolf. Master Ozra strikes the gray werewolf wrestler on the right upper arm, and Jellisnark, let's see. I think the werewolf just died. There's no killing blows there, really. A, B, C, D, E, F. That was insane. That was your epic fight there, by the way, guys. Congratulations. Now recover the wounded. Quick. Get them all down to the hospital. What's the hospital look like? It's gotta be insane. Who's in here? Ernst McIonized. You've got legs injuries. Salty Nut. Ooh, your whole face is mangled. I don't know if you're gonna be ever recover. Your vision is lost. Both of your eyes were torn open and ripped out. A werewolf clamped down on your face and just shook it around. You're lucky to be alive. I don't know what we'll do with you. You might not be able to recover from that and continue a military career. But who knows, maybe you'll turn into some type of drunken master or something. Daft Punk is faint with the left foot torn open. He'll be fine. Peter the Fourth. Oh, it's not looking good for you either. Ability to grasp is somewhat impaired. Sensory nerve damage. But you can still stand. And your ability to grasp isn't completely lost, so you'll be fine. ED-209 put up one heck of a fight. Ability to grasp, somewhat impaired, motor nerve damage, sensory nerve damage, only 1 kill. Work Whiskers, the gray werewolf. I'm sure you'll be fine. Toady. Aw, paralyzed and cursed to a hospital bed. Ability to stand lost, motor nerve damage, sensory nerve damage. You got 2 kills though, 2 kobolds, Delinkus and Quarren. So congratulations there. If only crutches worked here, my friend, there would be hope for you. Lord Lockthorn, you're working on someone in Three-Toe. How are you doing? Oh, ability to grasp is somewhat impaired, motor nerve damage, and sensory nerve damage. You're being diagnosed right now, so we'll know more later. Dowd Pride. Ability to stand is lost. Ability to grasp is somewhat lost. You had 4 kobold kills, or 2 kobold kills and a forgotten beast kill Hody. Seems like those dwarfs who got those stray random forgotten beast kills are being punished. Every single one that I remember that got a stray kobold killed from the zoo level, or a stray forgotten beast kill from the zoo level, by picking it off, has been punished and is in the hospital. Ability to stand is lost for J7. You killed a gray werewolf, an ice dwarf, a mind flayer, and a mind flayer flesh warper. We're gonna have to expand the hospital soon, actually. Yep, I'm gonna have to expand the hospital because all those beds are gonna be filled up soon with people who can't stand. And I'm not gonna wall them in and starve them to death. That's not how you treat someone who has, you know, fought for your fortress. We'll do our best to take care of them, even if it brings us down. Yes, even if it takes away from dwarves' other jobs. We'll do it, damn it. Jealous Snark is laying out there. Ability to stand is lost. Ability to grasp is somewhat impaired. You have 16 kills though, damn. You killed Onongo Fought Terrors, Grim General, the Heart of Yell's the Mistress, so long ago. You struck down a whole bunch of grey werewolves, a bunch of named kobolds, another grey werewolf, and now you're going to be left to die out in the desert sand there. I don't know if anyone can actually come grab you. I'm sure that someone will come out there at some point. Hopefully. I'm going to reclaim this entire section, though. All of these body parts, all of these dead dwarves, all of this gear. Everyone go grab something. I do have plenty of people who have no job other than taking care of the wounded, though. I learned from my last large battle that you ensure that there are just dedicated nurses and dwarves and stuff like that who will run water back and forth between these people. Otherwise, they will die. They will be left to eat the flies that land on their face and the occasional rat that scurries across their bed, which isn't very often. So I think I'm actually going to take a break. It is 28th Obsidian, 1084, late winter. We're down to 102 dwarves, and I would honestly be expecting another siege before too much longer. I'm still waiting for those snake men to show up. It's only a matter of time.